Well, our veterans have come back from war with many issues, and we have to make sure that we comply with our commitment to take care of their health care needs. We've seen around the country and in Maryland there have been long wait periods in order to get doctor's appointments. That's unacceptable. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that we have adequate funds within the VA system itself, but also where we cannot accommodate within the VA system, that a veteran can go to other facilities in order to get their needs met without penalty. And I think we've have improved the situation, but we still need to do more, and we've got to make sure that we live up to our commitment to our veterans.
That was Senator Ben Cardin sharing his thoughts about how we can help our veterans. And joining us today is Chris Buser, Chief of Social Work from the VA Maryland Healthcare System, Adrian Bridenstine, Executive Director of Journey Home, and former homeless U.S. Army Vietnam veteran Thomas Kusar. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is becoming more and more of an issue. Veterans becoming homeless. The number seems to be increasing. Why is this happening?
Well, it's a tragedy anytime one of our veterans has become homeless. They've worn the cloth of our nation, they've served, and they deserve the nation's best. One of the things that we're really looking at is to try and grab the veterans who are coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan and get to them early. Unfortunately, like Thomas will talk about, our veterans from the Vietnam era, they weren't welcomed, back with open arms by the country or by the VA necessarily. And so they kind of fell to the side, and we still see the ramifications of that. Today, most of our homeless veterans are of the Vietnam era. So with this returning generation from Iraq and Afghanistan, it's very important for us to grab them up early, get them into the services that they need, and make sure that they're getting, physical health, mental health services, substance abuse, vocational and educational training so they can be self-sufficient after the military.
And how successful are these programs, Adrian?
So far, we've been really successful. I think part of it has to do with the partnership that the city has with the VA, the Baltimore VA Medical Center. Just since the beginning of this year, we've been able to permanently house over 300 homeless veterans, and we are on track to achieve our goal, which is to house over 500 veterans over the course of this year. We think if we do that, we are going to significantly reduce the veteran homelessness population in Baltimore.
It's amazing work that you do. Thomas, let's bring you into the conversation. First of all, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and it's great to meet you, and I'm just curious how your situation evolved. You came back and you were one of the people that were homeless after being overseas.
Yes. God, sometimes I try to remember how I got to that state, but it was all about what was in my head. In the service, people care. When I came home, there was no one. There was actually really nothing. I wasn't told about the VA. It really never existed. So I just did what I did when I was in the service. So if I did what I did was in the service, so that's actually destructive in a manner of speaking. So I didn't really actually feel connected to being a civilian. I still was connected to that military.
Right.
So that's how I got caught up in building a tent in the woods with a flag on top, because I'm still military, and that's all I knew. And there was no one to go to and say, hey, I'm feeling this way.
So how did you get help, and how did you get into a better situation? It seems like you're doing really well now, many years later.
Oh, this is 40 years in the making, okay?
Yeah.
I had to put it that way. This is 40 years in the making, and I'm in recovery. It's a good spot. It was like one morning, I stepped outside of my tent and took a nice little yawn, and looked around for my little squirrel I used to feed. And the sun was rising. I mean, I've seen many sunrises, but this sunrise was different about it. It seemed like it made me feel really warm inside, like I was missing something. And I turned around and I looked and I saw that tent for the first time. And I said, I haven't done anything with my life at all. So I walked on down, caught the bus, and went on to the VA. And here I am. The VA sent me to a program, to get me stable and get me back on my meds. So after I got my meds and I feeling secure about me. Now I have to get committed about me and how to stay well. So when I got to Perry Point, it was a time where I had to sit down and I had to look at myself and say, hey, Thomas, it's that time. You're 60 years old. It's that time. that stuff is gone. You know, it's time to find a new way. So I invested all my understanding, and I really got committed to staying well. And after a long period of time, here I am.
Well, the symbolism of the sunrise is pretty powerful. I'm glad you're doing well. At the same time, you know, almost incensed that veterans come home and this happens, you know. They deserve to be taken care of, and that's what you all are doing. How do you feel when you hear Thomas's story?
Well, Thomas and I were talking before we came on, and we share a bond that we both served in the Army, and we were talking about how the military is a very supportive culture, and there's a lot of things around you, but when you come back, you may not have some of those, you know, supports. So myself as a veteran, when I drive into the city and if I see someone who's holding a sign that says, you know, homeless vet, you know, please help, that's a sign to me that we need to do more. So what we're doing, you know, at the VA is we're partnering with the city and other agencies. We're doing, you know, community outreach. We're going to case conferences. We're going to, you know, places where, you know, like homeless encampments. We're going to shelters, going into the woods where veterans have camps, and we're trying to bring them in. At the medical centers, we've established primary care teams to work just with our homeless veterans. It's a walk-in. They don't have to have an appointment, so we don't have any wait times. There shouldn't be a reason why someone can't get access to care when they're our most vulnerable veterans. We've hired additional social workers and nurse practitioners who can start that case management, mental health and substance abuse treatment. About 45% of homeless veterans have mental health problems, and about 70% suffer from substance abuse issues. So it's very important that we start addressing those concerns early on so that we can, you know, get those veterans into that permanent and supportive housing.
Yeah, and you mentioned the veterans that you see on the street that are in need of help, that are homeless. I see it all the time. What are you hoping from the city perspective can be achieved when it comes to that?
I mean, as I mentioned earlier, we really want to reduce veterans' homelessness pretty significantly by the end of this year. One of the key strategies that we're using is we're applying the housing first approach, which recognizes that housing is really the platform that people need to achieve stability. That they need that to help get a job, they need that to address mental health issues, they need that to reconnect with their family. And, you know, having somebody live in the shelter or living on the streets, it makes it extremely difficult to address some of those, you know, basic things that you need to take care of. So trying to apply this approach, which is very much a clinical approach to addressing homelessness, is something that we're applying across our systems, and we're seeing some pretty positive outcomes through it.
Great.
And I would say, I mean, housing is health care. You know, when our veterans are housed, they're safer. I can't find any doctor or any study that will suggest being on the street is better for your health than being in a house.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many different needs that you're addressing in addition to housing, that whole transition coming back. We also want to mention, before we run out of time, you were honored recently in the public library.
Yeah, the public library took me in and adopted me, and going there, they taught me computer skills. You know, I remember the first date I received my email address. It was January the 4th, 2012, and it was like, yes, I got an email address. You know, and I never worked on the computer, you know. I thought there was something out of James Bond, you know. It go typewriter with a screen and with a camera looking at me, you know. But in learning how to operate and use a computer, when the job became available that I have now, I had to look it up on the USA. So I got a chance to use my skills, and I got the job, you know.
Fantastic.
And so the job I have, I'm a peer support specialist, and I'm like on the front line with the vets that you see on the street, and those are ones sometimes they pops up the way I'm at. People send them to me. Go see Thomas, because maybe, and so when they come, it's great, and it's rewarding that I'm there for them.
Yeah. Well, Thomas, we appreciate you sharing your story. We're so glad you're doing as well as you are. We love to hear success stories like you, and we thank you both for promoting success for veterans coming back.
Thank you.